What's the process been like for you trying to get back out there?
It's been a journey for sure. There's been a lot of things that I've had to go through and stuff like that, physically and mentally with this injury. But I'm just extremely grateful to be where I'm at right now.
Were you always? I mean, they originally said that he was out for the season. They never said that about you. I mean, were you right away always expecting to be back at some point?
So with my injury, there were some complications. I had 3 different injuries on my left leg, and so they kind of just bounced around between timelines. And we came to the conclusion that it would be an 8 to 12 week timeline. And originally they said 6 weeks, and that was one of the first things I heard, and that's just kind of what stuck in my mind. And I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna try to come back. Like I want to come back. But once I came back and stuff like that, the trainers kind of looked at me and just said, like, after we gave you that timeline, like we didn't know if it was realistic. We honestly didn't think that you were going to be able to come back because of how complicated your injury was. And so I'm just grateful for our athletic training staff and strength staff and all those guys for helping me get to the point to where I'm at now.
You said 3 different injuries. Were they all on that same play against Oregon, or was there something that was kind of pre-existing with that?
Yes, sir. They were all on the same leg, ankle, MCL, and my fibula. And so originally we thought it was just a fibula. Then it came to MRIs, and it's like, hey, like your MCL needs to be repaired. And then it's like your ankle, you tore that thing up pretty good too, and then fibula was broke clean through.
So that was all done in one play?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I mean, you get off to such a good start this season, Roger, and then you're playing in like the biggest game of the season at Oregon. Like, can you just take us through that emotional swing where you're ready to dig in for a whole night, and then just like an unfortunate leg kind of gets caught? It's over.
Yeah, I was extremely excited for that game, knowing that we were playing the #1 team in the country, and like me and the guys worked extremely hard all week, and that game meant a lot to us, specifically it being Oregon. So going into that game, I was extremely excited, full of emotions, and kind of ready to go. I had a really good week of practice, and we go to the game. First play, it was a pretty good play. Second play, the injury happens, and when it happened, it was an emotional thing, and it was kind of immediate. When I kind of got rolled up on, I felt my leg snap, and so at that point there was no sense of pain. It was just more so like I didn't know what was going to happen from that point on. So
I mean, I don't know why you would or whatever. Have you gone back and have you watched the play or anything like that, or?
I have watched the play, and it was just, you go back and watch it, it was just an effort play. I was trying to block downfield, and Ashton gets tackled right behind me, and the guy kind of adds into the pile late and pins me in the pile, and it was just a very unfortunate injury.
Maybe you feel like you knew immediately, like you said, you could feel it?
I did. Right when it happened, I felt my leg snap, and I just kind of laid there in disbelief because I'd never experienced injuries like that ever in my life. I've never missed a football game in my life due to injury, and so when that happened, I knew immediately that something wasn't right.
Mason mentioned kind of how you guys went through your injuries together. What was it like having that camaraderie, and how much of that kind of helped you push through it?
Having Mason next to my side was an extremely crucial part to my bounce back from the injury. Just having each other there and just kind of working with each other and kind of motivating each other was extremely important to getting us both back. We kind of just pushed each other every day, and just like you said, every weekend we sat together and we would watch the games and just kind of evaluate the games, and just like at one point we looked at each other and we understood that there was a possibility of us both coming back, and we love this team so much, and we're going to do anything in our power to be back and be able to contribute to the team. And so when we had that conversation, looked at each other, made that decision, it was something that we were going to chase.
At what point did you really, start to realize that, this comeback was going to be a reality?
I kind of from the start, after the injury, I couldn't see myself just being on the sideline. And like from the jump, for me, it was always about, being able to come back and help the team, because I love these guys so much and we have such a special team. And I was always chasing that. But it really just became a reality like a few weeks in. I had a conversation with the trainers and the progress that I was making. And they kind of just looked at me and just said like, hey, like this is something that's going to you can do. Like, just keep doing what you're doing and keep working hard and trusting what we have for you, and you'll be able to make a comeback.
What did your day-to-day look like as you were going through that recovery?
Day to day, like, you know, I'd come in early in the mornings, get some treatment in, go up to meetings, and then right after meetings, it was attacking rehab. And they had a list of things for me. Normally it took anywhere from an hour, hour and a half, but I made a commitment to where I would spend 4 to 6 hours in the training room, just because I wanted to come back that bad. And like I said, this team means that much to me, and so I was willing to do anything in my power to come back.
How long do you think it takes for an offensive line to get kind of back together and feeling like you did early in the season?
I would say it takes a lot. The speed of the game is a big thing. Just kind of, you know, you sit out for a few weeks and you don't understand how fast the game goes. And so that was a big thing. And also, like, just the mental aspect of it. That was probably one of the bigger struggles, is coming back and being able to operate mentally and communicate with the guys and kind of just build that chemistry back up again. So
was it the speed and you know, the mentality and stuff? You know, Dirk says, like, you know, there were a few penalties in your first game back that you want to clean up. Was that a big part of it, just the speed of play and catching back up?
I would say, as far as like the penalties I had in the game, I had a personal foul. I had a face mask, which I don't know if it was a personal foul. I think it was initially, and then I had the holding call. I'm a very emotional player and very aggressive player. So, and going into that game, like, it was just surreal to be back out in the field, and so I was just filled with emotion and just kind of like had that much more energy. And so I understood that something was going to happen. Like, it was, a lot of the guys kind of expected me to have, you know, one of those penalties, but the other two just kind of came from being out of my technique. And like you said, like, I've been out for so long, and so like the speed might have definitely played a role in those other two penalties. But
So I guess going into, you know, your third game back, have those emotions kind of died down a little bit?
maybe a tad bit, but not a lot. Like I said, I'm a very emotional and kind of aggressive player, and I just play with this type of mentality. So going into every game, you know, it's just there's just a switch that kind of flips on in my head, and so it may have died back a little bit just because it's my third game, but not a lot, I would say.
What was it, the way that Ben Dooley described it? Ben's an older guy. He obviously spends a lot of time in the training room, but he said he never went into the training room and you weren't already there. You said 4 to 6 hours and you spend extra time. I mean, you can only do so much. So how is that? How were you finding ways to be more productive, I guess, when it came to your recovery?
So a big part of it was just like I said, like, the stuff that they would give me is generally only for an hour to hour and a half, and so basically I would just kind of do all the rehab that was required of me, and then I was in there just bugging Garrett and McKenna, like, what else can I do? What else can I do? Until the point where it was like, I'm the last one in there. No one's in there with me anymore, and it's like, hey, like, you need to go home, like, get out of here, like. And a part of it too is with the strength staff, I try to lift anywhere from 6 to 7 days a week. Like, you know, we normally only lift twice a week as a team, and I was in there trying to get the extra work and stuff like that because I wanted to come back so bad.
So where are you in terms of your strength compared to what you were at the beginning of the year?
I would say, as far as my strength goes right now, because I attacked rehab the way I did, and kind of the strength staff kind of got me going. I feel like there's some things that I can honestly do better at, and I feel a little more explosive and stuff like that. It's just, you know, trusting my technique. And I feel really good this week, and I know Mace has gotten a lot better too from last week. Like, it's just keep trusting what the coaches have for us and being able to put it together.
That time in the weight room, because it was a lower body injury, were you kissing up the body on day one, or were they like, let's calm down a little bit before we get going?
No, absolutely. Not the day after surgery, but the following day, I was in there lifting already and doing anything that I possibly could, doing workouts on my right leg and crushing my upper body and stuff like that. And so throughout the whole process, once I got that first lift in, it was no stopping me.
I assume surgery was pretty quick after the injury as well.
Yes, sir. So the game was that Saturday, and I had surgery the following Wednesday.
How cool was it to watch the offensive line, you know, even with all the injuries still, you know, do its job and, do what it's doing? And, you know, what was it like coaching those other guys up?
It was awesome seeing them just kind of grow and develop. Those guys, they work extremely hard and have the utmost respect for them. Being able to come in and step in and do their job at a high level. And like I said, it was awesome just watching them grow and just being able to kind of contribute to that in any way I could. Like, me and Mace would sit up there and watch film with those guys and kind of just coach them up on certain things. And so it was pretty special and pretty awesome to see how there wasn't much of a drop off when those guys came in.
You jumped in on this Ashton Genty bet at all?
I didn't. That was kind of a one-on-one deal with Mason and Ash, but I kind of wish I would have. I think that's a pretty cool deal that they got going on, and Ashton's awesome. But
There was a lot of talk in Vegas about his lowest yards per carry was against them the first time, and you didn't have you or Mason out there. I mean, how much of an impact do you? How different, I guess, is the O-line, this running game, going to be Friday compared to what UNLV saw, last month?
I think a big part of it is they're going to see a little bit different of a mentality. I think me and Mace bring this different aspect of just kind of getting after it, and so I'm looking forward to that game.
What does this game mean to you, this team, this city? I mean, just some are calling it the biggest game ever for Boise State. I mean, just what's it like to be a part of that? What do you expect on Friday night with so much on the line?
This game means a lot to me. We work our tail ends off in the off season for moments like these, and so it's just extremely exciting and pretty special that we get to be in this position. And that's just a big. It just goes to show how hard this team works, how hard this team works, and how much we love each other. And I just can't wait to get after it.
I mean, Spencer described it again the other day as the band is back together up front. Like, what's it like just to look around and the first time in 3 months, like, be able to live out what you guys thought the season was going to be all about?
It's extremely special, and me and Mace are both extremely grateful to be in the position that we're at. And, the moment that Mace runs on the field and we're all together, we just look at each other. There's just this huge smile on every one of our faces, and it's just this excitement, like, holy smokes, like, we're back, and it's special.
Ashton needs 341 yards to break Barry's record. You have at least 2 games left, maybe more. I mean, is that on your conscience at all? And what part of you deciding to come back and risking using this year up is because you want to block for maybe the best player who's ever played here, Ashton Genty?
No, absolutely. I have the utmost respect for Ashton, and I love that guy to death, and I would do anything for him. And with what special of a year we're having, like, there was no doubt in my mind that I was wanting to come back. Like, sitting out the rest of the year wasn't even a thought in my mind, and I know that's the same thing with Mason. And we would love to get Ashton that record, and that's something that we're definitely chasing because he deserves it. Not only is he an awesome football player, but I think he's an even better human being. And so guys like that, like, you'll do anything for those guys.
Do you think he deserves the Heisman? And what is it about him that, how does he show offensive line that he's a good person, I guess, or whatever?
I absolutely think that Ashton Genty deserves the Heisman. I think he's the best player in the country, without a doubt. And, Ashton his work ethic is next level, and it's something that every guy on this team aspires to be, like, just how hard he works and how much love he shows his teammates, and his, just his demeanor and the way he carries himself, and just his attitude is very infectious and, like, contagious, and so, he's always showing us love in different ways, but yeah.
What about that Christmas present? Is that, have you guys talked about it? Wish list? I know he's hooking the whole lineup with something special.
I will
you know
say
what that is?
He is taking us to dinner tonight, so
Nice.
appreciate you.